like right there in frame. So I like the angle how the sticker's just right there.
Nice. Thanks. I'm wearing my High Tide Club mermaid shirt and my I voted sticker. Yes.
I think we can tell that we're in different locations because I'm in this sweater dress with a scarf. It's about 40 degrees outside and you're in a tank top.
Yeah, it's as I was leaving work, it gets cold in the morning, but then, you know, as the day goes on and the sun's out, it gets hot. I think it was like probably 90 degrees today, and it was not nice.
And it's been raining all day here. It's just looked like nighttime outside.
We had a couple of days like that too, but now it's just like, okay, you've had, you know, fun stuff. Now it's just back to the true weather that's in Phoenix. And I'm like, dang it. But yeah, I've been having really bad allergies. So if I sound congested or nasally, I apologize.
You sound perfect and you look beautiful.
Oh, thank you. You look beautiful. I love your face so much.
Oh, I love your face right back. And for those of you just tuning in, she is Nicole and I am Angela.
Hello, hello. Welcome to live stream discussion.
We always just like start talking and like forget to introduce ourselves.
I know. If you don't know us, hello.
Welcome to the bookish corner of the world.
Where we talk about romance because it's awesome.
I love it.
We love it and it's fantastic.
I was gonna say, if you don't like the romance genre, you're in the wrong place.
Right? It's a little just all about the romance. Not even a little, a lot.
I mean, tonight's book, we have the friends to love. We kind of have like the friends to lovers and enemies to lovers and hate to love. I mean, we have all the tropes in one tonight.
I know. I was like, okay, they knew each other when they were younger, so they used to be friends, so friends to lovers. But then he's really mean, and they don't like each other at first. And I'm like, okay, hate to love. Okay, got it.
I know, this is just the romance corner.
Right? Steph's here. Hi. And then Lady Gizmo. Hi, how are you?
Welcome. I know, Steph, I know you haven't been able to join us for the last few live streams. I saw on Twitter, you're like, I'm so excited I can join. So it's really nice to see your name pop up in the comments.
Yay!
So have you read the book? Who in the comments has read the book for tonight? Or are you just moral support and you just want to talk about romance?
Yeah. Who's read it? What's your 5-star rating? We're jumping right into it, ladies. And
I asked it over on Twitter, so I might as well look up and see if anyone responded. I literally posted it about 15 minutes ago, though, so if people haven't had the chance to vote on Twitter, I'm not going to hold it against them. That was oh, the dog. And I apologize in advance if you hear my dog barking or anything.
Me too. Me too.
Yours are much more, much larger.
Yeah. They have a larger bark. Steph, super excited to talk about this one. I actually read this one. 4 stars. Awesome. So you really liked it. I was excited to read this book because this is my first Sarah MacLean. Is that MacLean? Is that how we're saying it? That's this is my first book of hers, so I was really excited to read it. Me too. Hi, Maras. How are you? You read this like a week ago, and I saw that you gave it a 5-star rating on Goodreads, so that made me extra excited to read it. Busy with freelance work, and now I'm free. Yes, best way to spend a Tuesday night. Sit down, have a glass of wine or tea or water or whatever your drink is.
So, total tangent, side note, digression over here. I bought the eggnog chai latte because I love the pumpkin chai latte, and I was like, oh, this is the first time they've done the eggnog chai latte. I cannot finish this drink.
Oh.
I just can't do it. This was going to be my special treat for the night because last time I did the pumpkin, I was going, oh, we're going to be going into Christmas. I might as well do something else special. Nope. So I'm gonna be doing the water tonight. That's about it.
Is it just like too sweet? Like what happened?
I mean, it tastes just like eggnog, and I was
right.
in the mood for eggnog. I thought it was going to be the kind of flavor, but no, it is full-on eggnog.
Full-on eggnog.
Not ready for eggnog. It is.
You know what I do when I buy eggnog? I also buy milk so I can water it down or milk it down because I feel like eggnog, while I love eggnog, like just a glass, but it's like so almost thick and slimy, so I mix it with milk.
I can just stick with my pumpkin. Me and pumpkins, I should just enjoy my pumpkin chai latte. I should just always get that from now on.
Yeah.
So during our live streams, that should be my consistent go-to drink.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it, you know. Eggnog steamer is the best. I haven't tried it, you know. I like eggnog, but if, you know, I'm here for moral support. Oh, this is my way of listening to the audio version of the book.
Yeah, summarize all the spoilers. If you don't want spoilers, I'm sorry, but we're gonna do spoilers.
Right. Ooh, Marasa saying, I love the tropes, but some of my Goodread friends didn't like it as much. Okay, yeah. So Angela and I were talking about how there seems like there's to be a lot of tropes that are evident in this book, which is, you know, we said friends to lovers, hate to love. You know, did you notice any other tropes in this book that you particularly like or don't like?
I mean, I think it's interesting though. You say your Goodread friends didn't like the book as much as you. After reading, I went on the Goodreads reviews, and so it does seem to be sort of two camps with the really positive, really negative. And when I first finished the book, I'm going, oh my gosh, this guy's terrible. I was so mad at the hero for like 90% of the book. I was just so mad at him. He was terrible. I was just so mad at him. And then, because I read it yesterday, and I'm so glad that I read it yesterday, and then kind of gave myself, you know, almost 24 hours before I talked about it, because now that I've kind of let the emotions settle, I'm going, I don't think I was really supposed to like him, though. I wasn't really supposed to be, you know, in love with him, rooting for him. It was, you know, she was going for redemption. So I kind of am glad that, you know, we're having this discussion a day after I read it, because I think my emotions have simmered down a little, because I was just so mad at him. I was so emotional yesterday. I was messaging Nicole going, I can't stand this guy. He's so mean to her on their wedding night. You can't believe what he did. I was so mad. And now I'm kind of looking back going, I think I was supposed to have that response.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with you. Yeah, it was so funny because I was half reading it, half listening to it, because I was running around a lot yesterday when I got home. And so I was like, okay, I just gotta, you know, I don't have time to sit down and read it. So I just want to listen to a little bit so I don't get too far behind. And she's messaging me and I was just like, oh no, I think we got our first dud book. Oh no. And Steph, I love your comment. I wasn't feeling it until the epilogue. I messaged Angela because I finished it probably 2 hours ago. And I'm like, I am more interested in the epilogue that gives us kind of like a sneak peek of what the next book is going to be like, more than I liked this book. I was just like, ooh, I was really intrigued by the epilogue. It really made me want to just continue the series when probably, like Angela said, a little bit of ways through the book, I'm like, I don't know if I want to continue this series. But now that I read the epilogue, I'm like, oh my gosh, yes, I want to continue with Philippa and Chase.
I mean, that's the thing. I kind of get the impression, it wasn't too much distance. Again, I just read it yesterday, but kind of looking back, I don't think we were supposed to be in love with him and going, oh, he's so swoon worthy. I don't think we were meant to have that emotional response to him, because he does treat her terribly for a good portion of the relationship. I mean, I'm glad that I kind of gave myself just a little bit of space, because yesterday I would have been going, oh my goodness, this guy. But kind of, I think this is the brilliance of her. I don't think we were supposed to like him from the get-go.
Yeah, absolutely. But when you said like he doesn't have very many swoony moments, there were some times where he was like, he had some great one-liners, and I'm just like, but then the heroine's like, she's in this kind of conundrum, because she's like, yes, he's being really, he's like, I messaged you, Angela, I was having the feeling like Hot and Cold by Katy Perry in my head, because he was so rude to her and so mean to her, and then 180 the other direction 5 seconds later, trying to woo her and, remembering like, oh yeah, I have to, but then she's like, no, this isn't right. This is, because he just wants me because of the land and the estate and everything. And so my heart kind of broke. I'm jumping towards the end where he finally, sorry, spoiler alert, he finally professes his love. And then he's like, you believe me, don't you? And then she's like, I don't know. I'm like, oh my God. Could you imagine?
I loved that she called him out on his, I love how she called him out. I love that, because if she had just, this is why I think I appreciate her, is because on Twitter, and if you guys know anything about Sarah, she's very vocal. She's got the feminist liberal viewpoint, and so it could kind of like, you could see that in her character. Like, this girl didn't just roll over. I mean, he would treat her poorly, and then she would call him on it. It wasn't as if she would just kind of let it go. It was more, I mean, yes, we had the historical time period, but she was more modern in a sense. And so the fact that she actually said, I don't know, and just like fall into his arms made me really happy as a reader.
Yes, absolutely. Because you go through this whole book with him being the way he is and treating her so poorly and just saying to her all the time, it's like, this is a marriage of convenience. I don't love you. This is seriously just about getting my family estate back. And then all of a sudden he like gets a knock on the head and like, oh no, I do love you. So I love at the fact that she did call him out on it. And no, she has every right to be hesitant because you've been telling her this whole time that this isn't a love match, that we're just trying to convince the ton that this is a love match because, you know, that's what we want everyone to believe. But then behind closed doors, he's like, this is really what's going on. So definitely, I love that she was actually, you know, hesitant and disbelieving because then otherwise I wouldn't have believed it, you know?
Yeah, it kind of grounded it in realism to some degree, because if she
Yeah.
had just fallen into his arms, I would have been going, but the last 80% of this book just happened. So what's going
Mhm.
on here, sweetie? I mean, if she had just fallen into his arms, it would have been a totally different kind of narrative in my head, because I thought it was brilliant when she had this moment of his arch nemesis or arch rival say, you know, it's a means to an end, and he's
Yeah.
going, oh my gosh, that's what I've been saying to her this whole time, and this is what he's saying. I don't want to be like him. And again, that was one of those moments where he's going, I'm not like him. I really do love her. This isn't what it is. I shouldn't be saying that. But I mean, the fact that he'd been saying it demonstrated he wasn't in the right mentality. He wasn't in the right mind frame. So I'm glad that she didn't just say, oh, as soon as, you know, dawn light on Marblehead, as soon as that moment happened, she didn't just say, okay, moving on. Like, at least, you know, she made him kind of work for a little bit.
Right? I'm just nodding with everything you're saying. I'm like, yep, yep. And I love Penelope too. She's not, you know, the one to just roll over and take it. Like you said, she was calling him out on all of his crap because that's what it was. And then I just love the end scene where she's the one that wins the hand and it's like it's in her hands and she basically saves him. I love that. I was like, the princess saves the prince. I love it.
So a little bit of context, just a little bit of context, because I know Lady Gizmo said she hadn't read the book, so the audio version. So he was a gambler at 21 years old, and he was playing cards, and again, he's trying to get to 21, and he went over, and then at the end, she hits exactly 21 in the card game. I mean, she was, she was his Lady Luck. She was the one who was, supposed to be playing, but he lost his inheritance, and his whole goal is that he wants revenge on the man who he lost the card game to. Again,
Mhm.
I think he lost it himself. He shouldn't really be blaming others. That's a whole separate discussion point. We'll get back to that. But he lost
Put
his
a pin in that right there.
we'll get to that. But like he lost his fortune, and so he has a chance to redeem this, and he lets her play on his behalf. And I'm going, okay, I like this. I appreciate this.
Yeah.
So it means she was the one who won for him. And you're going, yes, Sarah. Yes, thank you for writing.
Right? Yeah, I mean, and he was kind of like the spoiled brat this whole time. Like he never took responsibility for his actions. You're the one that decided to go into that, gaming den and bet all of your money, everything that you own on a freaking card game. And then you get mad when you lose. I'm just like, don't hate the player, hate the game. You know what I'm saying?
I'm so annoyed. Again, this is what I mean. Like, I don't think we were supposed to like him at first. When he ever did that, and he was 21. I mean, if he
Mhm.
was 16 or 15, I still would have kind of been going, okay, you're a kid, but like, you still should have had some sense in your head. But he was 21 years old when he did this. I
Yeah.
mean, it took me a little, it was hard for me to move past that because he kept blaming, I don't want to say Langham. I don't want to get the guy's
Yeah.
name wrong. He kept blaming this guy, saying, "Oh, you let me win. You enticed me. You let me win. You upped the ante." And I'm going, "Yeah, but you fell for it. And you willingly consented every single time to go back into the game." And so I was
Mhm.
frustrated with him for not taking responsibility for his actions because he kept blaming this guy. I mean, he wanted vengeance, and then he was pulling, Penelope, who's totally innocent and everything, into his vengeance scheme. And I'm going, I do not like you. So mad at him when he was doing all of this. I mean, a rogue is a really good name for him.
Yeah, most definitely. Most definitely. And he worked hard and he, became very wealthy even without his, family estate and without his, all the land and stuff that he lost. And Penelope even pointed that out to him. Like, why would you spend your entire life trying to get revenge on this guy to win, you know, something back, something that you didn't even earn, something that's been handed down generation after generation. Someone else earned that land and earned that title. You've earned all of this. Like you've made a name for yourself, and you won, you know, maybe not your family estate back, but your very own big fortune. You should be proud of that, not something that was just handed down to you. And, you know, he didn't quite get that. He still is like, oh, it's the principle of the thing. And like you said, he was just not taking responsibility, and he was blaming everybody else. He blamed Tommy, like his best friend, because it was his dad, the one that was playing the game with him. And he even wanted to like have revenge on his best friend. I'm just like, he was just an innocent bystander. I mean, what could he do against his father? I mean, he didn't play against you. That's kind of ridiculous.
I actually really liked Tommy. I mean, at first,
I like Tommy too.
Yeah, at first when he proposed to her, you're kind of thinking, oh, did he really propose to her because he wanted her because her dowry included this land? But no, he really wanted to protect her from other suitors who would be ill-suited for her. Like, he really wanted to protect her. He really was her best friend. And, you know, he wanted to run away with her if she wasn't happy in her marriage. I mean, he was there for her. I mean, he was there for her more than the hero of the book was for the narrative. I mean, he was there for her when she needed him to be. And he checked on her, and he was, you know, he was caring. And he even accepted that she had that emotional attachment to Michael. He even said it was always him. I mean, he wasn't naive, and he wasn't trying to force himself on her. I mean, he was just a really good friend. I'm like, I love you. I want you to have your own book.
Right. And I haven't looked into the other series, but the other books in the series, but maybe he does. But yeah, I really like Tommy too. He was very sweet. He was definitely like, you know, the best friend of, you know, of Penelope, and really looking out for her. And, you know, he wasn't in it just to get the fortune and, you know, get the dowry. He was in it because he wanted to protect her. And I really, really enjoyed that. I mean, Steph's like, nah, I wasn't on the time.
I saw through the fake romance. When he first proposed, I have to admit, I thought it was ulterior motives, but the fact that he was willing to run away with her later on, that was when he kind of redeemed himself to me, because at first I was kind of feeling him out. I didn't really love him or like him until at least 20-25% in, when he would go check up on her and he was still in contact. It took me a little while to like him. I mean, when he first proposed, I'm thinking, oh, he just wants this. He wants this dowry.
Right. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, like as soon as like he would come in and like check on her, like you said, and then he asked her, like the first thing he asked her, like, are you happy? You know, and I was like, that's so sweet. Thank you.
And I also like that he calls her Sixpence too. I mean, I kind of loved how she called him Michael and everyone else called him Bourne. I thought that was cute, how she was the only one who called him by his real name. I kind of liked that.
Yeah, I like that too. And he kept like, he's like, no, it's Bourne. I was like, shut up, it's Michael.
As the dog makes noises.
But he does sort of say that it was because of the land. You mean Tommy? Ooh.
I think he did it because the other people were going to go for the land because for her dowry. So
right.
He proposed to her once the land was attached because he knew so many people would be coming out of the woodworks for her. I think he made it offer protection. I mean, again, this is also, you know, me being me, but that gave me some serious Pride and Prejudice vibes about how he only had daughters and how the land was going to go to the first cousin. And so you know, she was kind of an Elizabeth Bennet. I'm going, this could be a very, very loose adaptation. I mean, maybe he's the Penelope, like Penelope is the character. Maybe he's the Penelope, you know, Charlotte. I don't know. I was just getting very Pride and Prejudice vibes with that.
Yeah, for sure. It was kind of that one scene where they were at the estate and her hi Max when Steph says when he was talking to Michael. Okay, not when he was talking to Penelope. But I like the scene where her dad finds out that Michael like kidnapped her and like took her out, and then he was like shooting at the window. Oh my god, I was dying laughing.
That was a Mr. Bennett moment to me. I mean, I could totally picture Mr. Bennett going, nope, you're not taking my Lizzie away from me, and getting the shotgun. I mean, I can totally see that happening.
Right. And then Penelope is just like, you know, I was like, I guess he has really terrible aim, because she said something about, you know, well, like his target's the house, so I'm not really surprised that he hit it.
I loved that because Michael's going, he's shooting at us. Couldn't he hit you? And he's going, what about you? What about you? She's going, well, he's aiming at the house. So He was just going with it. I kind of love how she was so calm when her father's shooting at them and going, this is hysterical.
Right? Oh my gosh, I was dying laughing.
But
Yes.
I also think that's great, though. I mean, I read another romance novel. It was Ruth Ann Norden, and it had kind of a similar premise in that whole like, oh, her reputation, so marriage, forced marriage on her. I mean, again, very different narrative, but that whole similar of, oh, she spent the night or she was in a room alone with a man. Now they have to get married, and so in that one, the girl was literally left alone in the room with the guy for a couple minutes, and they're going, oh, her reputation, and her entire family was going, oh, they need to get married ASAP. And then the father here is going, no, I don't want you married to him. Like, he almost didn't care. And I'm going, this is interesting. This is different.
Right? Because seriously, like the only solution of like being ruined, quote unquote, is like marriage. And so for the father to stick up for the daughter, yeah, that's really
I love that, because that, again, like a kind of Mr. Bennett move of going, well, is he really gonna make you happy? I want you to be happy. I mean, yes, I'm giving you this large dowry, but I also want you to be totally miserable. Hi, puppy.
Max is like, yeah.
I agree with this. I mean, he was next to me when I read. I don't know, maybe I was talking out loud and he's going, I remember this. I don't know.
You're like, I definitely remember this scene. Yes. But the scene before that, when they meet again after their long separation, because they were friends when they were children, and she goes into this wooded area with the lantern to like hunt like land pirates or whatever, and she runs into Michael, and this whole scene really kind of bothered me.
Oh, I mean, I love how she's like, is it pirates? Is it a bear? And then she's like, oh, it's Michael. She's like, maybe it was better off with the pirates.
Right? Seriously. Yeah. There's that whole line between force and consent that I didn't really appreciate. I think I remember messaging you one time and I was just like, he ripped her gown in two. I was like, bodice ripping is only sexy when it's consensual, okay?
I mean, the whole thing with their first meeting is she's so excited to see him, and it's so sweet, and she pulls up. I mean, again, I really liked Penny or Penelope, however you want to refer to her. I got the biggest kick out of her, and, she pulled at my heartstrings, and she's so excited to see him, and then he's just cold and aloof, and then he picks her up, and he kind of, he slaps her on the butt there, and he's just, I mean, he's trying to get her to quiet down. You're going, this is not the romantic reunion I thought it was going to be.
Right, and it's, and then reading their letters, when they were sending letters back and forth when they were younger, and you kind of get how their relationship used to be. And I'm like, oh, you used to be a sweet, nice guy. And she was so excited to see him, her childhood friend. Like, she really, really missed him. And you kind of get that scene towards the end because she gets angry at him, for being the way he is, because she's like, you left us. I missed you. And you're just treating me like garbage.
I was so happy she exploded. I was going, thank you for having this in the narrative. Because again, she wasn't quiet and just taking it. I mean, she stood up for herself, and I'm going, thank you. Thank you for that.
And I just didn't, she's so sweet, and she's like, oh, I missed you so much. Like that was her friend, and so, and then the fact that he just like slapped her down. Like, I was like, be nice to her, because I love Penelope too. She's my favorite. I loved her so much.
Oh, I mean, she was such a sweetheart. She was worried about her sisters. And, oh, if my reputation's ruined, it's going to hurt them, and they're going to be forced into marriages that they don't want. I mean, even when he asked her, what do you want? She's going, well, I want this. And he's going, that's not for you. That's for them. She's going, yes, but they're a part of me. She was just so caring about other people. I mean, your heart just went out to her. Like, you wanted her to be happy. And then this is why I think we weren't supposed to like him, because you have this really likable heroine, and then you have the hero who treats your really likable heroine in a very poor manner.
Right? So you're kind of like defending her. You want her to be safe and cared for, and you just don't like the fact that Michael is doing the complete opposite and, giving her really terrible, hot and cold moments and vibes, and, kind of making her very like hesitant, and she didn't trust him. And, so that's why I really liked that at the end. I know we talked about this, but I really liked at the end where she's like, I don't know if you love me. I don't know if I believe you. And it took her talk with Tommy to realize, for it to kind of click that, oh yeah, I believe him. And he was so relieved. I love that scene at the end where she was like, I do believe you. And he was like, he like you, like she even wrote it in the book. Like he was visually relieved. I love that.
I mean, I kind of got to give Penelope so much credit for writing to him without response, because the chapters would open and you have the letters they would send each other as childhood friends, and then you'd have her sending him letters that would go unreceived, and then after a while she would write him letters that she never sent, and your heart again is just going to this poor girl. And when at the end he said, I kept these letters on me, I'm going, okay, thank you for giving him redeemable characteristics right here.
Yeah. I know we got it. It was like probably like the 55% mark, where it would say like it would put the letter at the beginning of the chapter, and then it would sometimes say like unsigned or letter unsent. I was like, she stopped sending the letters, but she didn't stop writing them. And there was even one where she like destroyed one. I was like, oh, no.
So and then invested and attached to him. I mean, she was still writing to him.
I know. I was like, you are too precious for this world.
Well, the part that because again, when you're reading the letters, so Penelope, again, for those who might not have read the book, she had a broken engagement and she's very insecure. She kind of has this lack of confidence and not self-respect, but she definitely thinks less of herself. She's like, oh, I'm not pretty, I'm not interesting enough. She's very insecure because of this broken engagement. She was proposed to, and it turned out that the man who was her fiance had a pregnant mistress, but he really wanted to be with the mistress, and then he broke off his engagement to her and then married the other woman, and she called it a love match. She was so devastated. She was brokenhearted about it because she's thinking, oh, he never really loved me. I was just, she's like the beard in the situation. I mean, you kind of had to feel badly for her, and that traumatized her. And she's writing in a letter to Michael about this broken engagement, and you're going, and you don't know if he received it, you don't know what's going on, and later, because he has to ask her about the engagement, that he never really knew about that. So that was one of the unsent, unread letters. But your heart's going, she's telling him about what's going on in her life. I mean, he was supposed to be the confidant, the best friend, and you just want him to read those letters. Oh, my heart.
I just, I love the love story through the letters. I really like that, and I love that his friends liked her and was trying to get him to give up his revenge plot for her. I love that one scene. I think I tweeted about it where one of his friends was like, is she horse face? They say that, but they mean is she unattractive? And he's like, no. And they're like, is she dull? No. Then what's wrong with you? I loved that so much. What is wrong? Seriously, what is wrong with you?
I totally love that exact scene, but then I like it when she calls him on when he's being rude or mean or something, and then the friend goes, I like her. He's like, I like her a lot. And then Michael's going, she's mine. He had to be possessive with, about it. But I mean, the way the friend's like, I like this one. The friend's getting all excited going, I see it. I get, and she's walking around the club and they're rooting for her. And when she storms off, they're on her side. I mean, I loved that relationship. I loved how the friends were on her side over his.
Me too. I loved it. And when they gave her carte blanche over the club, they gave her the secret password that meant she can go anywhere. And then Michael was livid. It was so funny. I was like, meh.
I was like, well, that's what you get though for not inviting her yourself, for not taking her with you.
For sure.
If you had brought her with you and then, been the gentleman husband that you're supposed to be, and she wouldn't have been left at home to receive this invitation, that would have been her all access.
She didn't want to go to the gaming hell. She didn't care if he went with her. He was like, no, you can't go by yourself. I have to go with you for protection. And she's like, okay, well, as long as we go. And then so he never took her. Never ever took her. He spent days away from home, and she's finally like, you know what? I got this invitation. I'm going to go on an adventure because my husband doesn't want to take me. I was like, girl, get it, because do it.
This is what I'm like. This is why I think I can appreciate, seeing Sarah in her writing, because that's kind of not the typical historical heroine. I mean, or just, historical woman. I mean, she is supposed to stay at home and listen to her husband. And this one, because the husband was so rude to her about 99% of the time, she's going, I'm just going to do my own thing, live my own life. He said I had freedom. I'm taking up on the offer. I'm going to go do what I want to do. I thought that was great.
I love it. It's better to ask for forgiveness than for permission. Yeah.
I just thought that was so great because, I mean, again, he promised something. He didn't follow through. Again, another reason why I wasn't totally happy with him a lot of the book. But
Mhm.
I love how she dressed up and, she said, okay, well, I dressed up for a guy who's never going to see the elephant. I'm here.
Mhm.
I'm going to enjoy myself anyway. I mean, she was sad for a moment and then she moved on. I kind
Right.
of think that it didn't put a whole damper on her evening. She's going, okay, what's next? What's going to happen? I'm going on my adventure.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, like she didn't let the fact that he didn't want to take her or didn't want to see her dampen her reaction or spoil her mood. She The one thing that, kind of gets me that is that she really didn't need him for happiness. She didn't need him for that kind of fulfillment. She could do it herself. I love that, and it's just like, you know what? Your loss. If you don't want to come with me, if you don't want to spend time with me, that is your loss. I'm going to have a great time. And she went out and she did. And I love that. She
I
didn't
also
rely on him to make her happy. She made her own happiness. I love that.
I think that's also, I was trying to find the quote and I just found it because when she would call him out, that I think that was part of the reason why he really fell in love with her because he would feel guilt and he'd say like she'd been right, he'd misused her, he treated her as less than she deserved, and she defended herself with strength and pride remarkably. I mean,
Yeah.
he respected the fact that she stood up to him, which
Hmm.
made me like him in those moments. But I'm going, you shouldn't have made her have to stand up for herself. So it was a vicious cycle.
Right, exactly. And it was so hot. I was the hot and cold because he would treat her one way, and then you get those chapters or those scenes of his like thought processes and internal monologues, and he knew he was being a jerk. He knew, but then he would talk himself into like back into the revenge plot. He was like, "Oh, I could be happy with her. We were friends. She's really like lovable." And but then he was like, "No, no," and he would talk himself back into the revenge plot. And it's like, I've been working on this like for 9 years. This has been my life. This just means more to me than everyone else. But he had to almost like talk himself into it because of how Penny was and how loving and stuff she was. And I really, I was so frustrated with that. I was like, can you stop? Can you just see what's right in front of you? And Morass is saying Penny's too precious for Michael. Seriously, she was too precious for this world. She deserves every happiness in life.
I mean, I loved it when she was saying, I wanted them to have more than like her sister. She's like, I wanted them to have more than an arranged marriage. I wanted them to have more than, fill in the blank. And he had this one, say it. I wanted them to have more,
Mhm.
more than what I have, or more than what we have. I mean, and he heard the unspoken
Right.
truth again, like you just want Penny to be happy.
Right. And like in those moments when she was holding herself back and then he kind of like pushes her, he's like, say it, and like saying like, I want her to have more than a marriage of convenience like we have. And then he got mad at her for saying that. I was like, that's exactly what you have. Why are you getting mad at her?
I mean, I also loved, I mean, this is just, again, the details. I love details. When the sisters and her mother they were visiting and she was playing with the dog. She had a dog on her lap and she's stroking the dog and he's jealous of the dog because she's patting the dog and she's being affectionate with the dog. And he's going, oh, why isn't she's never affectionate with me. I'm going, do you blame her?
I know. I'm like, are you giving her a reason to, put her trust in you and give her her heart? Like, no, you're giving her exactly zero reasons why she should do that. So
I mean, I did
sorry.
when I
Sorry about your bad luck.
this is the thing. Like, I liked that he went ice skating. I liked that he put himself out there and he was there and he wanted to win charades to impress her. But I'm going, this is one event, one instance. This is your marriage. And I'm pretty sure it took place over the course of a year. I think they were together for a while before things really worked out. But he went ice skating once. I mean, yes, it was one time. It was beautiful. And I love that he wanted the afternoon with her. But I'm going, you've been married for a while now.
Right. Right. I know. Like the first week they were married, he didn't spend, I mean, he like took her to the house, didn't even introduce her to the staff, kind of left her to her own devices, and then he left her for a week. Like he hadn't been home for like and then he's like told a servant to remind her like, "Oh, we have a party and we have to make an appearance and make sure everybody believes that we're so in love." And she's like, "What?" A jerk. And then he would leave again. He would like come home for like an hour or for a night or whatever, and then, "Oh, I remember I can't fall in love with her. Remember your revenge plot. Remember," and then be gone for a week. I'm like, mm-mm, I ain't having this.
This is the other part that I really loved because again, I love Penelope. So we have the moment where after the charades game, he's going, she would let him touch her tonight. She would let him woo her. He was sure of it. Tomorrow Tomorrow remained a question, but tonight should be his, even if he did not deserve her. And he's thinking, I got this in the bag. I spent the afternoon with her. And then that evening, she gets mad at him and storms away. And he's by himself. And I'm going, yes, thank you for not just giving in. But he's in the head. He's like, yeah, I'm going to win her over tonight. I spent the afternoon with her. And she's going, yeah, but you ignored me all the other afternoons.
Right, exactly. Like, one afternoon does not erase all of this that was happening beforehand. And, you know, Marassa is saying she's the cinnamon bun in this story. She is, but she has kind of like, she's the crusty cinnamon bun. She has the hard edges, and she doesn't let, you know, people, you know, she doesn't just roll over and take it and let people walk all over. Yeah, she's a cinnamon bun. She's really sweet. She cares about others, but she does have a backbone as well. I love her. She's almost like, she has everything in a heroine that I want, like, you know, the soft, gooey sweetness, and then also like stands up for herself. I love that.
My favorite part, I love it. I love it when she gets mad at him and stands up for herself and calls him like this. I found the part. She's like, you selfish man. And she just lays it out all out there for him. She's like, you think I don't understand disappointment? And she starts talking about how everyone was getting married around her and how she thought she was never going to find love, how she accepted it. And then, and then he comes around and says, this is your fault, Penelope, not ours. You could have refused. No one was threatening your life. Of course they were! Exclamation point, she exploded. They were threatening my safety, my security, my future. If not Leighton or Tommy or you, what? What was to happen when my father died and I had nothing? She just says it. Again, she's not that quiet, timid, you know, historical type of, you know, woman that she was supposed to be. She just, I mean, this is a solid, I mean, I highlighted the entire thing. I don't know if y'all can see it with reflection, but I mean, she lays it all out there. She goes like line by line about why this is happening, why it's not her fault, and what was really going on. I'm going, I love you. Thank you for this. Thank you for this moment.
Absolutely. I love that part too, you know, because he was like, he was saying like, she was saying something to him about, you know, it not being all about revenge, that he should be happy with what he has. And then he just, obviously he gets defensive and he snaps at her like, oh, excuse me, like, you don't really understand my plight because you've had it all. You've had the money, you've had your title, you know, you have everything that I haven't, you know, I didn't have. And she's like, excuse me? You know, she was like, I'm going to stop you right there because I need you to understand what it's like to be a woman in this society. Okay. Like, it's ridiculous. And then he's saying like, no one forced her. No one, you know, no one took her choice away from her. I was like, excuse me. Yes, you did.
Oh, I love it when he, you know, she calls him for being hypocritical because I mean, at one point he's saying, I'm the villain in this play. And I'm going, a little bit. Yeah. Some of the times you're a little bit of an anti-hero to some degree. Like, you did snatch her away.
Yes.
That she had. But I mean, it took him a while to really acknowledge that, but I'm so glad, you know, that little inner feminist, you know, for Penelope, for her, you know, historical heroine. I mean, I loved her dialogue. I loved how she stood up for herself. And I loved how, you know, he kind of fell in love with that part of her.
Yeah.
Because he grew to appreciate that, which is very, very important to me as a reader.
Absolutely. Because if she just did kind of just roll over and take it and just sat there meekly and quietly, he would have gotten his revenge and he would have had, you know, the life that he wanted. He would have got the life that, you know, he would have gotten revenge, and then they would have just lived apart, and she could do whatever she wanted and he could do whatever he wanted. And, you know, that was kind of like what he was saying he wanted at one point. You know, his revenge was all that was important. And once he got that, he could start living his life separate from Penelope, you know. And so I like the fact that she wasn't that meek, timid, and little, you know, what's typically should have been for that time period.
And for the record, when she's yelling at him here, this is the night he thought he was going to woo his wife and just have her. Like, this is the night after their afternoon together. This is when she yells at him and lays it all on the line. I mean, meanwhile, this guy's thinking, oh, I got this relationship in the bag. And I'm going, nope. No, you don't.
You have to work a little harder than one afternoon of ice skating. Okay, honey. And Mraz is saying, such a man. Seriously. Needs some deeper understanding of the feminine psyche, and he thinks he just got it like that. I'm like, I don't think so, honey. You're gonna have to work a lot harder than that. But yeah, my favorite person in this story is Penelope. She kind of, you know, made it for me. when I was frustrated with the hero, she kind of vented my frustration out to her. And I'm like, thank you, someone said it, you know?
I mean, I love the part when he says he's listening to, I mean, it's kind of creepy in some ways. They have the adjoining bed chambers, so she has hers, and then he has his, and they have that door, you know, the wall in between, and he's listening to see if she's there, you know, oh, she's taking her bath now, oh, she's giggling with the maid. I mean, it said he did that for 6 nights, and I love it. I love it when the maid says, oh, she does the same thing, and he's going, really? And the maid goes, well, I guess you'll never know now, will ya? The maid, like, everybody knows what's going on. His friends, the staff, like, everybody knows.
I loved Mrs. Worth. I liked how she was kind of like jealous of her at one point, and then she was like, oh no, you know how it is. Like, because at one point, Mrs. Worth kind of takes the side of Penny, and she was like, he's being a jerk. You deserve a lot better. And then they kind of become best friends. And, you know, and even she was like,
oh, I thought that was hysterical because she made a comment, oh, I wouldn't have him. And she goes, oh, I'm sorry. But she's like, oh, you're married to him. I'm so sorry. I should never have said that. And she's going, oh no. And she calls him, I think, a donkey's ass or something. She gets, she calls him, you know, she just says this. I mean, again, like, for the time period, you should not be saying that stuff to, you know, your, like, the people, you know, your servants. Like, you probably shouldn't be vocalizing that. But she just says, like, yeah, no, he's terrible. And they bond over his awfulness.
Yes, I ended up really liking Worth. You know, I hope maybe, I mean, I really kind of want to look into the series and see who all gets their story, but I really like.
I did look it up.
Oh, did you? Okay.
So the next one are the 2 sisters, and then the last one, do you want me to tell you who the last one's about?
Yes.
So Chase, you know, the mysterious partner, it's actually a woman who was scorned. So she was 16 years old and she was seduced. And so she had a baby out of wedlock. And so she apparently poses as one of the prostitutes in the gaming hall to see what's going on. So she's like the silent partner. She's the one running everything. So I don't think she gets her own story. I mean, maybe, you know, Sarah will come back and write one.
Maybe she's a secondary character. I just hope she gets, you know, a happily ever after because I really like her. Hi, Danny. How are you? The insatiable bookie, Danny.
Hi,
Danny. I know, Danny, you marked this as currently reading, and I think I saw something on Instagram that you were still reading this. Have you finished it? Did you like it? Tell us all about it.
I mean, I have to admit, you know, talking about the rest of the series, I do think, you know, Sarah there did a very good job of setting it up because you want to find out about Pippa and the guy. I mean, obviously that epilogue, you know, it gets you. You want to find out what's going on with her being the, you know, accountant. But even throughout the story where the sisters are supposed to get their love matches, but yet she's settling and wants a way out. I mean, you could kind of see the foreshadowing there. So that was nice. I mean, you could see she kind of set the series in motion.
Yeah. Because, I mean, I really didn't. I mean, yes, you have, you know, the 2 sisters, and you really didn't kind of get an inside, you know, glimpse at the sisters. I'm like, okay, they're just there. And then that epilogue, you know, you kind of get a really deep understanding of Philippa. Like, oh my gosh, she's really smart, you know, like, oh, she was like adding up the accountant book and, you know, saying that, oh, it should be this number. And then the guy's like, that is an 8 or something like that. And she's like, oh, you need to work on your penmanship. I'm like,
I love that. I loved that moment. It was one of those, even when she was wrong, she was still right.
Right. She's like, oh, you need to work on your penmanship.
No, not me. It's you. Like, it's like, you know, your math at first, but now it's your penmanship. Like, she was not taking it. Like, no, it was still him.
Oh, right. You're like, this is still your fault. I'm right. Thank you. I just love how just in a single page that you can make me so excited, like, for a second book in a series. And that's, you know, what I really liked about, you know, the way Sarah set it up. Like, that's a genius, you know, the epilogue not being like, because usually with a romance, if they have an epilogue, sometimes you're kind of like looking into the future of the 2 main characters that were in the book, you know, like, oh, how are they doing in their happily ever after? You know, did they have kids? You know, things like that. No, this is about the next 2 people in, you know, in the next book in the series. And I'm like, that is genius. really intriguing. You're making me, it's kind of almost like a prologue of the next book. You're really making me want to continue on with the series, because as I was reading this book, I was thinking, I was like, oh, I might continue and I might not. But then I read that prologue or the epilogue and I'm like, yes, I'm reading the next book because that's amazing. Romance Queen of Booktube. Hi, how are you?
Welcome.
Thank you for joining us. Danny says she hasn't finished it yet, but she's loving it. Great. I love that. I love it.
And I was like nodding to everything you were saying, going, yep.
I know. Whatever you say, I'm like, yes, I agree 100%. It's almost like whenever Angela talks, she's just taking, it's like she's reading my mind and she's taking my thoughts. And I'm like, yes, I was thinking that. We have one brain. It's really.
I also kind of like the fact that, the father was hysterical and he was shooting the house. I mean, I love that. He was just, I kind of loved him. But I appreciated the fact at the end when he says to Michael there that he knew that Penelope was either going to marry him or Tommy. And so he wanted her to have a piece of her history because he knew he only had daughters and he wanted her to have something that had been in the family. And so you kind of realize that, I mean, yes, she was the daughter and he was concerned about her future. But I mean, it was more than just making the dowry large enough so that any guy would just have her, which is originally where you thought it was going. So it kind of like redeemed the father near the end of the book. So I kind of liked how she gave all of the characters, I don't know how to phrase it, like their personality, their traits. She made them all likable to some degree where, if you saw them again, you're going to be going, oh, I like you. Or, oh, when he pops up again, he's going to be going, oh, yes, you're the father who, really did want the best for his daughters. So she kind of gave them, I don't know, as a reader, like she gave you something to latch onto almost, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because when you're first introduced to the dad, you're like, he's giving her kind of an ultimatum. Like,
yeah,
you have to do this. You have to save, the reputation of your sisters, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, no, that's rude. Like she's, like, if you don't do this, if you refuse one more proposal, you're going to ruin your sister's chances in their season. Like scandal's going to come on the family and it's going to be your fault. I'm like, well, that's rude. And then all of a sudden you get that scene with Michael and her father, and, he has a deeper purpose, for wanting her to be married well off. And I'm like, okay, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, but like that's what I mean. You don't get that to the end, and if he pops up again, because these are his daughters, so you have 2 more unmarried daughters, so he's probably gonna pop up again in the next 2 books. So when I see him next time, I'm not gonna mind him. Going, oh, deep down, you're a good person. I'm happy to see him.
Deep down, he really wants what's the best for his daughters, and that's really, really nice. And he doesn't want, the estate to go to some like first cousin. Good. Hope everyone is doing well. I'm doing fantastic. My allergies are kicking my butt, but I'm doing good.
My dog is trying to do something over here, and I don't know.
I know. I'm trying to look. I'm like, what's going on over there?
I can't explain it. I can't explain this.
You're like, I'm not quite sure what's going on.
I'm like, I'm not even going to go there. I'm just going to let him do his thing and maybe keep you posted after the fact. I'm not really sure.
Hey, man. You're like, if he's quiet, okay. You can keep doing whatever you want.
He doesn't have a choking hazard. I mean, before he tried to take down the flowers from my bookcase. That was a thing one time. He's not doing that right now, so he's fine.
Oh my gosh.
Leave him be for the time for this.
The mischief dogs get into, I tell you. I wake up, I think it was 2 mornings ago to get ready for work. It's, it's early because I have to be at work at 7. And so I'm getting up and I'm going to do something in the laundry room, probably like get my uniform out or whatever. And then I see my dog, the puppy Ruger, on the sofa. First of all, they're not allowed on the sofa because it's new. He knows this. And he's eating ketchup packets that are on the because we have little things that fold down and you can rest your drink and stuff on there. And I had left some ketchup packets, I guess, on there from dinner the night before. And he's eating the ketchup packet, like the whole packet. I'm like, there was packets on here and now there are no packets. So I hope everything comes out okay, because that's not good.
I can't, again, Max is 5 pounds. He is right there on the floor. I can't leave anything where he can get it. I just can't, because I mean, if it's on the floor, it is fair game.
And then he looks at you like, hey, you left it there. Like,
oh, I mean, I can't even, I have a nightstand next to my bed, and so he sleeps in bed with me, and so I can't have tea or anything exposed on the nightstand, because if I do, he'll lean over and put his face in there.
Yep, for sure. Yeah. I know you said Max sleeps with you. All 3 of my dogs sleep on our bed, and we only have a king, so let's just, put that out there. But yeah, I left some essential oils on my nightstand, and Ruger just picked up the whole bottle and like took it outside. I'm like, what are you doing? But yeah, you can't leave anything out. My middle child, Goliath, if you leave bread out on the counter, fair game. He will get on there just for bread. If you leave anything else like food related on there, he doesn't care. If it's a loaf of bread, he's all over it. I was like, you take after your mother. I love carbs. Yes.
You're like, you are my child. You are my baby.
You are my child. He's so cute. But yeah, dogs. And it's so funny when I caught Ruger eating the ketchup packets and standing on the couch. When he saw me, it was like deer in the headlights. He was like, I'm not doing anything. It was so funny. I was like, I caught you. And then, I'm like, Ruger. And he like immediately gets down, lays down, and rolls over and shows me his belly. I'm just like, oh, you can't, no, you're in trouble. Get in your kennel.
I always know when again, you can see the stuff moving in the background. Max is there. You know exactly where he is when you see little flowers move. When I don't know where he is, that's the problem. When I can't find him and I can't see him and I can't hear him, that's when it's all downhill.
You're like, you're getting into something. There's only so many places you could be.
Yes, I love you, Boo. I really do.
I love our little tangents, our little dog children.
If there's anything else in the book you want us to talk about, or you wanted to talk about characters, dialogue, scenes, just, comment away.
Yes, absolutely. And Danny's like, carbs, nom, nom, nom. Yes, absolutely. Love carbs.
I agree with you wholeheartedly.
Carbs. But yeah, is there anything that we didn't mention that you want us to talk about that you noticed in the book? Comment away. I do have, some quotes that I, put on Twitter. If you haven't seen them, we can go through those if you want. Definitely. There are some quotes that, definitely caught my attention, and stuff that Michael says, of course. And I'm just like,
I mean, I think I know I tweeted a lot of quotes. I also posted some of them on my Instagram live feed. I think the dialogue and just, Sarah is a really good writer. You just have to give it. I mean, it was very well written.
Yes, I agree wholeheartedly. There's this one thing, I have to find it because I did tweet about it. There's this one thing that, if I can get my phone to work.
I know, I just pulled up our Twitter because I wanted to pull up the quotes. And so someone on Twitter said, I won't be home for another hour. I'm like, we might still be talking.
Right. Just pulling up everything that we... Maras is saying there's a lot of similarities between this book and Wicked and the Wallflower. That sounds really familiar. Who is that by?
Oh, that was another one of her books.
Sarah MacLean's? Well, this is my first Sarah book, so I can't say that, but I'll have to look it up because I do want to continue. This came out first, but I read Wicked first.
Someone gave it 2 stars. I put the rate this book on Twitter, and someone gave it 2.
Really? I want to know who you are.
That's the next book. Oh, the next book is we are taking part in the Great Romance Read hosted by The Ripped Bodice. So our next book is going to be an adaptation of Pride and Prejudice, Pride. That is our pinned tweet over on the Twitter account. It has the link. I already made the link to the YouTube live stream, so you can set a reminder for that. It also has the link to the Great Big Romance Read website that the Ripped Bodice created. So that is our next book. So you guys are not going to be voting on the next one because it was pre-selected because we're taking part in this sort of nationwide, gay romance event, which I'm so
I love it.
We're also one of the first, I think we're also, I mean, we're last on the list because I think they did it alphabetically or location or something. I forget how they organized it. But because we're the only YouTube book club, we're at the very bottom. Like, yes, we kind of got the and. We kind of got that and moment. But I think we're also one of the first because ours is, I think, December 4th. So we're also like, we're one of the first, actually, third.
Yeah, I think so.
I was like, I
I'm
knew
gonna double check right now.
it.
It's the 4th. You're correct. I'm sorry. I know I should never. I'm not going to contradict you anymore because you're always right.
I wish that were true. It would be so much easier if I was just always correct. That would be amazing, but that is not the case, sadly.
I'm really excited to read this because I remember I seen it before this, the book Pride, before this was brought to, because I know Angela did a lot of the footwork. I mean, when I say a lot, I mean all of the footwork because she's amazing. But I did remember seeing this book before, and I really love the cover. Oh, and she has it.
Yeah, so I actually, this was epic timing. So this came in my last Owl Crate box, and I had just put together my Amazon cart with this book, and so I was about to purchase the hardcover copy edition. Then I opened my Owl Crate right before because I'm thinking, oh, I just picked up the mail. Let me go, look up. And so I literally did this as soon as I went. It was perfect timing. I got this right before I was about to place the order, and I'm going, thank you, Owl Crate. You have amazing taste. And so this is our book. It looks amazing. And then I love the inside. So yes, we have little Owl Crate goodies because I just always keep them with the book. But I love the inside. It's bright pink. You get their faces.
Oh my gosh, that is gorgeous. When I first saw this book, I'm like, I absolutely love the cover. So I was really excited when Angela brought it to my attention. She's like, I noticed like this was happening. And so what do you think? And I'm like, yes, Pride and Prejudice adaptation, I'm all for it. And then I saw it was this book, and I'm like, oh, I remember seeing that. The cover is gorgeous. I love that. And it has the art inside. I'm so excited to read this book, you guys.
I mean, so this is the book jacket. So, I mean, I love the pink. I just kind of love the way this looks with the brown. I think that color combo is just stunning. But I love how this book is pink, and then it has kind of the gold side when you take it off. I don't know who designed this book, but I love this. If you guys want to go get a physical copy, I highly recommend it. I was like, thank you, Owl Crate. You made me happy today. So
that's the first thing I'm going to do tomorrow.
I also bought the ebook edition, so apparently, like, I'm just really into this book. So it has the art at the front and at the back. So, I mean, it is just a beautiful, beautiful copy. And I haven't even read this book yet, but I already kind of love it.
It's aesthetically pleasing. The cover is just gorgeous. The whole book, the whole package is so good.
I mean, if you make something, again, aside from yellow, again, with this rainbow bookshelf, the yellow, I just put that over there to break up all the blacks. But there's not that many pinks over here. There's really not. So I'm very excited to add, like if I were to take off the jacket, I'm going, oh, we have pinks. But there's also not a lot of brown sides. So just something about the color combo here works. I
like that color combo too. It's just so gorgeous. I love it. Lady Gizmo's excited. Yes.
I know. It's so cool because, I don't know. It's kind of nice to be a part of, the gay romance community, hashtag Romancelandia.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. I'm really excited to read this.
Well, I saw they put out a tweet, and I kind of follow the Robotis religiously. I'm always paying attention to what they do. And so they put out a tweet saying, if you're a romance genre book club, let us know. We have something in mind. And so I was so happy that you were like, yeah, like, let's do this. So I'm really excited that we're taking part in this kind of, nationwide, Romancelandia event. I think that this is just, really great. So I'm hoping this book is also great. I'm sure you've already looked into it and read it. So probably is great.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I'm really excited for it. And like Angela said, it's a pinned tweet on the Romantics at Heart Twitter page, so you can go and read all about it.
Yes.
Really excited.
I also tagged the author, so you can follow her on Twitter as well. I don't want to mispronounce her last name, but it's Ibi Zobi. I don't know if that's how you really pronounce it, but that's what I'm going with.
Yep, perfect.
So hopefully all of that info is there, and if you need anything else, just let us know, and we will find it for you.
Yeah, I think like what you're saying, like we're kind of, ooh, my dogs are barking, sorry. We're kind of the first ones to have like a meeting about it because our meeting is going to be December 4th. And so I'm really excited. I'm really excited about this book. Oh.
I know. I'm kind of hoping that, maybe more people will join us, more than usual. And we'll have, oh, poor Nicole. She has to mute herself. The poor little thing. She's shaking her head. Oh, you okay?
Yeah, I'm good. It's just my allergies. I have some sinus drainage, so I'm like coughing a lot and clearing my voice, and then my dogs are barking. So I'm like, I'm just gonna mute myself while Angela talks because I don't want it to keep going back and forth between me and her. And
poor little thing. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. I was actually really worse this morning because I was just so congested. I woke up at like 4:30 just sneezing nonstop. I could not stop sneezing, and I was so congested. And I tried every single allergy medicine in the drugstore. Like I was like Nasacort, some like allergy tablets. I was trying like the Alka-Seltzer cold and cough. I'm like, I have to find some relief. Something has got to work. And then I just last ditch effort. I got my lavender essential oil and I just put it all over my face and like just smelling lavender. And it was like, it cleared up my congestion. I was like, this stuff works miracles.
You got lavender. You really did. I use that every night now before I go to sleep because I was very upfront with Nicole. I'm like, I have insomnia issues. I now have like a weighted blanket. I have the white noise machine. I have the sound, like I have the fan going. I use the oil diffuser, and she's like, use lavender. So now I do, and it's amazing. And I love it. So now my entire apartment kind of smells of lavender.
I love lavender too. Like it's such a great thing for allergies too. Like yes, it's calming and soothing if you have insomnia issues. It's really good for that, but also for allergies. So
I'm gonna go eat carbs with my husband, like the hubs. I just eat carbs.
Oh, bye, Danny. Thank you so much for stopping by. I love you so much, Danny. Little shout out to her. She's the one that actually introduced me to BookTube, so she's really one of the reasons why I'm even here. So thank you, Danny.
You're my best friends.
So, but. Yeah, so Danny's amazing. She's great.
I just saw the gonna go eat carbs, and I was like, that is amazing. I love her.
And I met her kind of like, by happenstance because I worked with her husband when I was a server at Red Lobster, and then he would bring her in, and he was talking to me about her one time, and she's like, oh yeah, my wife loves reading, and she has a BookTube channel, and I'm like, what's BookTube? And she kind of introduced me to this whole corner of BookTube. So thank you, Danny. I love you.
That is amazing. I'm trying to remember now. I don't even know. I think I just kind of stumbled upon it because I don't know if you guys just heard that little whine over there.
I did.
That was very sad because I had a lot of trouble with my back, and so I was just, I was watching Netflix, Amazon Prime. I don't know. I've talked about this in the past. I was having trouble. I had a lot of trouble with my back. I was using a cane. I had the back brace. I had trouble walking. I was bedbound for a long time. Like a couple weeks, and like it was a big thing, and so I ended up on YouTube somehow, and after clicking around, eventually, I found BookTube.
It's awesome. Not awesome that you had terrible back pain, but awesome that you stumbled upon BookTube because that's how we met, and I love you.
I know. Because I'm always on those, like, I'm one of those people, like, I just try and keep going and going. Like, I feel like I always have to be productive. And when I couldn't, that was when I had, like, ended up, exploring some other internet options. I was like, oh, what's going on YouTube? Oh, wait, what's going on over here? And I love English literature. So I kind of felt like, hey, wait a second. I should be part of this.
That's awesome. Love you, Danny. Bye.
I don't even know what the carb is. I'm like, oh, is she gonna have lasagna? Like, what is she gonna have? What are her carbohydrates?
What carbs are you having? Tell me. Either pasta, breadsticks. Sometimes the two go together. I love it.
Oh, oh, that just made my heart to. Oh,
I found a BookTube because of Angela. Oh,
my mascara is not waterproof. I'm gonna be a raccoon.
I know. I was gonna cry today because that patient I posted on Instagram, like this patient that has come in one time, and I was talking with her about our love for books. She likes reading too, and she's just this really sweet lady. And then it was like a couple months ago, like in September, and then she came in today for another appointment, and she remembered me and was I was like, oh, I remember talking to you about books, and I knew you were going to be in because it was the same facility, and she brought a book for me, and I was like, oh my gosh, you're so sweet. I didn't even know this part of YouTube existed. Yeah, me neither.
I know, it's almost as if you don't know it's here until you're in it, and then you don't want to
right. Absolutely.
Because these are your people. These are, like, I mean, I don't get to talk about romance novels. I mean, yes, my dissertation is on romance novels, but I don't get to talk and, read them with people. I mean, I'm also not that outgoing. So, this is perfect. And I don't know what he's whining about. I think he has a treat and he wants me to know he's burying it.
Oh, he's whining. Yeah, sometimes Ruger does this whine, and I'm like, what are you crying for? And he just looks at me.
I know what it is. I know exactly what it is. He put the treat in something. He can't get it out of it. He wants me to go get the treat for him because he can't.
Oh, get the treat for him. Poor thing. Poor thing.
I also don't want to get bitten, so I'm also hesitating over there for that.
Oh no. Is he very protective of his treats and toys and food?
Yes. Okay, I think he got it. We're good.
Okay, good. That's kind of one thing that I do with my dogs when I first either, get them or, Goliath was a rescue. But I always make sure that I always mess with them when they're eating. Like I'll feed them food and then I'll grab them and pull them away or put my hand in the bowl or something just because I don't want them to be, because, it's like if they, kind of, go after me, I'm their owner. So it's like, okay, but I don't want that to happen to somebody else.
I mean, as cute and as sweet as Max is, he is not friendly.
Oh,
He's not, and he's very protective of his food. I have gotten bitten.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've gotten pretty good dog bites over the years. But
Max, you're too cute to bite your mommy.
he bit me in the face one time. I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
No.
he got me. I was in bed. I was in bed sleeping, and I knocked something over, and he was not having that. So he bit my nose.
Oh my gosh. My mom's Chihuahua bit me on the nose one time too. I'm like, oh, that's terrible.
Total tangent moment. I like a book or romance or anything. So
it just happens. We circle back.
We'll get there eventually.
We'll get there eventually. Yeah. Yeah. That's, he's just so cute.
Oh, he's adorable, but I mean he's he's got teeth on him and he's not afraid to use them.
He's like, yeah, my teeth are really cute too.
He's fearsome when he wants to.
Yeah. Kind of like the little dog syndrome where he's like, I'm the big dog. I'm the big dog.
Oh, he can be.
Yeah.
I will run away from him in terror, and he's 5 pounds.
Oh, don't bite your mommy anymore, Max.
I love him. It's okay. I just put Neosporin, put a bandage on, move on.
Move on. Yep.
What are you do? He's the baby.
Goliath bit me in the leg one time, and it was just kind of like I was pushing him away from the door because he was barking at somebody, and I'm just like, I'm trying to something that I've done 1,000 times before, just put my leg out and push him away so I could open the door, to see who's there. And he's like, no, I'm protecting you. Don't do that. And he bit me on the leg. I'm like, listen, jerk. First of all, I swear, if I wasn't wearing jeans, it probably would have broke skin. But I was like, did you just bite me?
Well, you have dogs. I mean, Max is a teacup. I mean, yes, he's got teeth and he'll use them on you, but they're small teeth.
Yeah, Goliath is, a pit bull, golden retriever mix. So
you got those are dogs. If they bite, that's gonna leave a mark.
Yeah. The only reason why, I was bruised for that bite for, a few days after that. But, if I was wearing shorts or any, that was showing skin, it definitely would have broke skin. I was not very happy, and he knew all about it, how he does not, bite his mother.
Well, the dogs in the book did not bite as well. They were just very cute and cuddly. There was 18 of them or something. There was a whole bunch of dogs in the book.
Yes.
They would go hunting. They had their dogs.
Yep. I love the one where it's part of one of the scenes where the dad was talking to Michael about how he really wanted what was best for Penelope, and that he could see Penelope and Michael marrying because, you know, he was always the one. That's what her dad said. And he was hunting, and he had one of like the hunting dogs out, and you know, it was really funny. One scene was just like the one dog wasn't very bright. He was just like chasing after like everything. I'm like, oh, poor thing.
Oh, see the dog story, not totally unrelated. It works.
You know, it circles back. I tell you, it circles back. But is there anything else that people? Oh, I was gonna find that before our tangent. I was trying to find a tweet that I did about one of the quotes that I wanted to talk about, and then tangents happened, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's what I was doing.
Like, well, she looks that up. I might as well just reference and make sure you guys know that next week is Who Picked This Movie Night. We are watching The Lake House. It is on Netflix right now. So Lake House, Sandra Bullock, Keanu Reeves, goodness. So you tweet with us using the hashtag Who Picked This Movie, not Who Picked. Who Picked, you know, no ED. What did you say?
I was just agreeing. I was like, yeah, no ED, just pick, but they can't see me, so.
At least your beautiful face. So no ED, tweet along with us. You know, if you've seen the movie before, if you have any thoughts, I mean, hopefully you can watch it with us. You know, we're going to be press and play at the same time, so make sure you join us for that. We also have the movie Twitter account where Nicole will be taking over, and then I will obviously tweet from the Romantics at Heart one. So just lots of Twitter romance goodness. And then the following week, we're going to be on Nicole's YouTube channel, and we're going to be talking about our favorite romantic comedies. That was the theme that you guys picked. That is the one that won over on Twitter. You guys want some rom-coms? Well, we were going to be recommending you a whole bunch of them.
I'm just dancing over here. I'm like, yeah.
I'm trying so hard not to laugh. I'm like watching her, trying to tell you what's going on. Like she's my entertainment over here. I don't even think I really look at the webcam camera because I'm always looking at Nicole and like the other window.
I always think that. I was like, oh, I should look at, you know, the camera. And then I'm like, no, I'm looking at Angela because I'm talking to Angela. But yeah, I did
watch her dance in the little lower corner there.
Yeah, I'm just like, yeah.
And then there's also going to be an extra bonus. I tweeted this over on my own personal Twitter today. I'm calling this live stream month. I always post videos on Fridays. I'm not doing that because we just have all the live streams in the world. We did a write-in this past Saturday, and then this Saturday we're not doing anything. And then the following Saturday, write-in over on Nicole's YouTube channel. So there's lots of live streams this month.
Yeah. I'm loving it. I love the live stream, I tell you. I love it. So I did put the Twitter handle for the Who Picked This Movie on in the comments. So definitely check that out. Really love The Lake House. I haven't seen it in a while, so I'm really excited to be watching that. And then yes, the rom-coms. And then, you know, is anybody else, like we're doing the write-in, is anyone else participating in NaNoWriMo? How are you guys doing?
I'm officially dubbing my NaNoWriMo project my dissertation. I wanted to do I wanted to work on a creative project, but I'm going, nope, my NaNoWriMo project's my dissertation. That's what it is. So hopefully make some progress on that.
And you know, it's very important. It's very important. You know, so I really want you to be successful and happy and do all the things that you want to do.
Oh, I love you. Oh my gosh. I mean, because again, I have an interdisciplinary background, so I'm combining English lit, I'm combining communications, I'm combining a little sociology, psychology. My lit review is this extensive body, and so it just keeps going and going and going. Having the best time trying to, you know, I keep going, oh, and I need to add this, and then I have to justify that, and I'm going, I have not even gotten to the analysis portion yet. I am just making this is still chapter 1.
Oh no. Oh no.
So
then you said on Saturday your deadline, you realized your deadline was shorter. And I'm like, ee. Oh no.
Yeah, I have to have a full draft into the dean's office by the end of March. But I have to have it to my committee beforehand for them to insert their notes and edits and everything else before I can submit it to the dean. So my real deadline is going to be the end of February because they're going to need a month or, you know, a few weeks, and then I'm going to need a few weeks to go through their notes. So I'm aiming for February.
Yeah. So, and you know, with the way this year has been going, it'll be here before you know it. I feel like this year flew by. We're just having too much fun. Time flies when you're having fun.
Well, at least I'm studying romance. I'm happy. We're good.
I love that. I love it. And I want you to be happy and successful.
I want you to be happy and successful. I want you to finish your new book. You gotta.
Oh, I have almost 12,000 words down. So I'm very.
I love, you guys gotta follow Nicole you gotta follow her. You have to. I'm telling you, I'm making this an edict. You have to follow her on Instagram because she just posted her picture of the work in progress with the working title. I was so proud of you. I'm going, yes, she's working on her story. I was so pumped. I was so excited to see that.
Yeah, it's because I printed it out and I was like, I just want to, because I like to print out the hard copy and kind of read through it and make, edits. Sorry, my dog's barking. Edits on, a printed out draft. So I wanted to print out the most recent copy and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's 50 pages. And so it's, sorry, my dogs. It's double spaced, 11 font, Century Gothic. So it's, and I was like, nearly 12,000 words, 50 pages. And I'm like, oh, it's getting there. I was so happy. I was like, oh, it's got some girth to it. Girth. I'm like, I don't using big words here.
How much wine have you had?
This was full, like up here. I filled it a little more. Usually I fill it to like halfway, but then I filled it up here because I couldn't bring the bottle in here because it's not a bottle, it's a box. So I brought juice boxes to the book club meeting, guys.
Whatever makes you happy. As long as you're happy, that's all that matters. And I saw Alyssa join us. I saw her over on Twitter. Welcome.
You like some of my tweets? Hi, Alyssa. How are you? Did you read the book?
I said because I think I actually mentioned this before a few minutes ago. I was saying, oh, she said she wouldn't be able to see the first hour. I'm like, there's a very good chance we're still gonna be talking, and guess what? We're still talking.
Right? She says best juice boxes ever. Yes, wine is the best juice boxes. Good. I'm glad you're doing great.
That's so cute. It was so funny, again, total tangent moment. So I won a raffle at the Sweet Breeze, Virginia, the Virginia Sweet Breeze Romance conference or convention that I went to, and I don't drink, and I won the wine basket.
I knew this about you. I don't know why I'm acting surprised. I'm like, no, you don't drink. You said that.
No, but I won the wine basket. So I got, I ended up giving one to the people. I had a lot of books. I sent you books.
Yes!
I had to mail out a package. And so for helping me, I gave the girl at the front desk a bottle of wine. And I was like, are you 21? She goes, oh, I'm 22. I'm going, okay, good. Here you go. Thank you for helping me.
Here's some wine. Yes, Angela sent me like this really nice box of goodies. And I'm like, I was so happy. I posted on Twitter pictures. And we have like these official Romantics at Heart cards. And I'm like, we're so official. I'm going to hand them out to everybody.
Please do. And if you guys want some or you haven't seen them yet, DM me on Instagram or Twitter and I'll mail you some. I'll give you some.
Same with me because you sent me a bunch and I'm like, if you guys want some, please DM me and I would love to send you some as well. They're super cute. I love them.
You can technically DM us both and we won't know. We can both send you some.
I know, right? You said message Angela and then message me next. You're like, I'm gonna get the mother load of the Romantics at Heart cards.
You're just such a romantic. You're like, you just want to support us. I'm like, whatever. It's great. If you want extras, you can have extras. I'll send you some pages on bookmarks too. Whatever you want, all the goodies in the world to you.
I couldn't believe it when I opened it. I was like, oh my gosh. Sent me this whole box of like our official book club cards. I was happy. So happy. She's the best. Angela's the best. She spoils me so much. I don't deserve a friend like her.
Oh, you're the best. You check in on me. You do. You're amazing. See, I'm like, I know Danny left. I'm like, I'm so glad she introduced you to book too because then you got introduced to me. I'm like, I'm keeping you. I'm not letting you go.
That's just so amazing to me. Just like the degrees of, I just love that. I love it. I met so many wonderful people. Our book club, it's been, you know, I feel like it's been such a success. You know, we've been doing this almost a year now. February, I think, was our first meeting, right? Am I right?
know. I almost feel as if we should do a reread of Archer's Voice, because that was still like the first, and that was still the favorite. That was such a, I mean, I'm in love with that book so much. I even have my physical copy now.
Yes, I am all for it. Yes. 100%. Yes. I would love that. Because seriously, out of all of the books that I've read this year, and it's been a lot, over 200, Archer's Voice was still the best read of the year. Seriously, it was so good.
Same, hands down. It was one of the first books I read of 2018, and like still closing out the year. It is still one of the books in my mind. I still love it. Still highly recommend it. And it was so funny. The other day, someone asked me what my favorite romance novel was, and that was the one that jumped in my head first.
Right? Absolutely. Someone was asking for like recommendations, like, oh, what have you read this year that's really good? And I'm just like, the first book that pops in my head, I'm like, Archer's Voice. It was so, so good. I've never read a romance book like that before. And it was just, it really resonated with me. And, you know, if it's stuck with me this whole year, you know, it's a great book. You know, it's those books that even after you read it, you're wondering, like, I hope Archer's doing okay.
I mean, again, it's a romance novel, and if Bree didn't want him, like, I would have taken him. Like, I loved Archer. Like, I loved him. Like, you're married, you're happy, like, you're fine. I get Archer.
I'm currently living my happily ever after, so like, okay, I get it.
He's, you know, book boyfriend. He wins on that list. I mean, he wins hands down. I love Archer so much.
Yes, he's so good. I have a feeling that when I do my end of the year Bookish Academy Awards, I do that, you know, ever since I started BookTube. I kind of, that's the way that I wrap up the year, like the best books that, you know, I read, Academy Award style. I feel like Archer's Voice is going to make, you know, numerous appearances.
It's like, I know it's here somewhere. I have multiple bookcases, and I'm pretty sure it's on this one somewhere. I don't know where, but it's here.
I have a physical copy. I have a physical copy and the ebook too, and yeah, it's somewhere in this room.
I know. I was trying to see if I could hold it up to show y'all, but there are multiple layers to this bookshelf.
Yeah. Yeah, my bookshelves are double stacked, and sometimes they're stacked like two on top. And I told my husband, I'm like, for this Christmas, can I please have my second bookshelf up? Because for those of you who don't know, this isn't my, you know, my actual library. My actual library is in another part of the house. I have an office, and my husband is building me these really wonderful homemade bookshelves. You know, he's taking, like, you know, wood, and he's building them, and he's attaching it to the wall, and they're floor to ceiling, and they're gorgeous. I love them so much. And you know, it takes some time, because he, you know, he works full time, and he's very busy, and I appreciate everything that he does. And so when he has time, he works on it a little bit. And, you know, so it's taken some time to get him up. And I got one of them not last Christmas, but the Christmas before that. So that one went up, and I was so excited, and I put all my books on there, and he started working on my second shelf, which is kind of going to be the biggest shelf, because it goes kind of over a window that we have in the office. And can't wait for that one to go up, because then it's just going to kind of almost complete the office look and what it's, you know, going to look like. And so I was talking to him today, and I was like, for Christmas, can you please finish the shelves, because he has everything cut out. He just kind of needs to, you know, glue them together and stain the wood and mount it on the wall. And he was like, yeah, that's just what I need to do. Like, I'm saying, like, just like, that's all you need to do. It'll be quick. But he's like, really, no, a lot of work goes into it, because he's making these by hand. And I love my husband dearly for it. He, you know, he spoils me. So I just want him because they look so gorgeous. And
I was like, and why do you want Archer again? I'm going, this is my husband right here. He's building a bookcase. I mean, he wins.
He wins. He
I don't know
wins.
what the competition was, but he wins.
I tell you, I've been blessed. I have been blessed. I'm very lucky. But so I'm just like, please, that's all I want for Christmas, my second shelf, so I can, you know, move some of my books that are, because I still have a bunch of books that are in boxes. I have these two shelves here, and then I have a shelf in there, but I still have books in boxes. So I like them to find like a permanent home, and, you know, maybe do a bookcase tour, like, you know, a lot of booktubers do.
That was one of my first videos. I haven't done one since. And the other thing is too, my bookcases are decorated, so that would involve removing and hopefully putting everything back. So there's a very good chance it's not gonna.
I feel like if I have my second shelf up, that just means that I would have to, you know, redo like a whole bookshelf reorganization. So I was like, that's kind of perfect. Maybe I'll film some of it, but I have, you know, I have to wait for the bookshelf to go up. But yes, my husband is wonderful.
When you post it, I will watch it.
Thank you.
Whatever you post, I will watch. I still need to go watch your NaNoWriMo vlog. I need to do that.
Yeah, I decided that I was gonna vlog the week and then upload on Sunday. So this first one is kind of like, it's only been 3 days, but you know, kind of wanted just to do that. So vlogging for NaNoWriMo, vlog for the week, and then upload on Sunday. So I'm gonna do that for the entire month of November. So look for those if you're participating in NaNoWriMo. With the finger guns.
Yeah. Just follow her everywhere. Follow her YouTube, follow her Twitter, her Instagram. Just follow Nicole everywhere.
Follow Angela everywhere. She's the social media queen, and I love her so much.
I spend a lot of time on Instagram and Twitter. I really do.
You're amazing. I love it. Like, seriously, like, if you're following the Romantics at Heart Twitter page, if there's a tweet going out, it's probably from Angela. I feel terrible because she does all the work, and I'm like, I'm a lazy bum. I'm sorry.
Beautiful, and you're perfect. I mean, it's so funny, though, because a couple of the tweets that you did send, you're like, this is Nicole here. And, like, you always say it. You always preface. You're like, this is Nicole. It's so cute. I get the biggest kick when I see that. I'm like, that's
because like, everyone knows, like, if a tweet is going out from Romantics at Heart, it's from Angela. So if I'm tweeting, I'm like, it's Nicole, hi.
so cute when you do that. I'm going, she doesn't have to, but you always do. I'm like, that's so cute. I get the biggest kick out of you. Like, what you can do no wrong. Like, you really can. I get the biggest kick out of you. I really do.
So sweet. I love you so much.
I love how you always use the little emoji heart when you're like, heart Nicole. I think that is so cute in your comments. That always makes me smile and happy.
I started doing that because, I don't have my real name in my YouTube channel. So when I was getting to know everyone, when they were like mentioning me or we were talking, they always say, oh, who picked this book? And so I'm just like, oh, I want you to be my friend. So I want you to know my name. My name's Nicole.
I always think, I think whenever I post something, I always say Nicole, AKA who picked this book. I think you've probably seen me do that a million times now.
Yeah.
It's like myself and Nicole, AKA who picked this book, or I'll do like both our handles and not our names or something. But
yeah.
I don't say AKA.
Just want to make sure that you're easy to find. I'm like, yes, this is Angela. Books are my heart, or writer A Heart. She's amazing. Follow her.
Oh my gosh. I know, we totally I love how now we're just like, this is just a love fest. You stopped talking about the book like a half an hour ago.
Right. And we're just like, I love you so much. You're the best.
Read Archer's voice.
Read Archer's voice. I've said this a million times, but I just love that was our first book. I mean, what a way to start this club off on such a great footing. I love it. I love it.
I think the dog agrees with you. He's like, he just did like a little growling thing. I'm like, he totally just agrees with Nicole. He's like, yes, that was a great way to start off the book club. Yes.
I concur. I have a feeling that when we meet in real life, that he's going to know me just based on my voice. At least I hope so.
And if he doesn't, he has small teeth.
Just beware of the small teeth.
And he's very loud when he barks. He's very loud.
Yeah, I'm used to it. It doesn't bother me.
So cute.
Alrighty, so if there's anything else that you all want to talk about, please comment. Now is the time to do so. Just to recap, next week we are watching The Lake House, and that's a live tweet. So if you're watching it 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, we're going to be pressing play. It is on Netflix, and you can tweet along using the handle at Who Picked This Movie. The Twitter handle is in the comments so you know what to tweet at. And then the next week is a We're Picking Romance live stream on my YouTube channel, Who Picked This Book, and we are discussing our favorite romantic comedies, which I'm really excited about because I feel like I've really read a few really great ones, and I just love those books where you're reading it and then you just laugh out loud, and then my husband looks at me like, "What are you laughing at?" And I'm like, "This, the book is so funny," and he doesn't get it.
I was kind of putting my list together a little bit. I was being so productive. I was so proud of myself. I was putting down a couple of titles, and I realized I had already recommended these books in previous live streams. And I'm going, this one is just too good not to recommend, though.
Right?
There was one. I mean, again, I'm not really. It's just like, this isn't like a spoiler alert, but there was one, losing it. I think that book is absolutely hysterical. I've recommended it like 3 or 4 times now in different live streams. Losing It, Cora McCormack, I think that's your last name, but it is.
Yeah.
That's my first pick for rom-com. So that's gonna be my first pick for our live stream. I'm telling you guys that right now. That was at the top of my list. I love that book and I recommend it. And I think that's just gonna be a great start to the live stream because there are just so many to talk about. They really are.
Yeah, that I think I reread that this year, or maybe it was.
I mean, that is a laugh out loud book, and so I think we're
Yes, it's so funny. It's so funny. Like her trying to get out of the situation she's in. She just makes up this cat, and then she ends up, being in a relationship with the guy, and then she's like, "I need a cat," and then she goes and gets a cat.
I mean, this is why I think I kind of love the fact that this is our live stream discussion. Is these are gonna be like a lot of fun books. It's gonna be a very lighthearted, very fun conversation, and just a whole bunch of like, oh, this is such a great moment. Oh, this made me laugh. One of those. Like, it's just gonna be one of those type of live streams. So I'm happy about that.
Yeah, I have a feeling we're gonna have a lot of fun. I mean, we have a lot of fun anyway with these live streams. I love talking with you and talking with everybody, and it's fantastic. But like with romantic comedies, you're just like, yeah, it's gonna be great.
You just know it's going to be a fun discussion. Like, you can just tell us and be like, oh, and I love this moment. This one made me laugh. And this one was so great. And this one, I mean, it's like our favorite funny moments almost. It's just me. I'm still looking forward to this.
I'm just typing, just really quick, what we're doing for the month.
I tweeted, if you guys follow me on my personal Twitter, I posted, I put together like a complete list of all the events and the dates. So you guys can see that image over there. So
that's because you're fantastic.
Hopefully that can make it a little easier over there. I don't know if you saw it. I'm not trying to get you guys to go follow my Twitter. I'm just telling you it's there. I mean, you don't have to follow me. You can just go save that image and it's there.
It's there. Just go do it. Good night, Lady Gizmo. Thank you so much for joining us. It's always great to see you. Those are some of the best books. Oh, you mean the romantic comedies, Alyssa? Yes, it's great. It's fantastic.
I know. It's so funny because we always have different themes for people to pick from. And so I think one of them was Scottish Highlanders. I forget. I think the other one was Alpha Heroes, and then romantic comedies. And they were
like Beta Heroes, I think, too.
I was going to say, I forget what the fourth one was, but they were all really close for a while because everyone was going, oh, I want this one, I want that one. So it only won by a little bit, but I mean, everyone wanted different topics, so there's always something to talk about.
Yeah, I was actually surprised that the rom-coms like pulled ahead for the win. I was really surprised. So, but happy surprise, whatever the subgenre is, I can talk about romance. Angela and I can talk about romance all day long. So,
and I was going to say, I just pulled up my own Twitter. Like, there's the image. If you, it's like, mark your calendars for.
Oh, perfect. Awesome. All right. So I think that is it. Anything else you want to talk about, my dear?
You're gonna go watch Bohemian Rhapsody. Oh, the new movie?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to watch
it. You're gonna have to keep us posted. I haven't. I've heard good things, however.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my gosh. Thank you guys so much for joining us and keeping us company and talking about romances and listening to us talk about our likes and dislikes and why we love this book. I mean, just thank you so much for hanging out with us. You guys are just so amazing. And I love Nicole so much. She is just the best friend you could ever want. Like, she's the best friend. I love her.
I'm gonna cry. Stop it. Oh my gosh. I love Angela so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Just put in a last little saying in the comments there. You guys are amazing, and I can't wait to watch The Lake House with you next week because I love it. It's great.
I was gonna say, all the romance all the time, like really is, like Tuesday nights are for romance. Like that is what Tuesday nights are. And I love it. It just makes me so happy. So I just love you. I love everyone joining us. Just make me so happy. It really is the best way to spend a Tuesday. Just is.
It is. Tuesday, I'm living my best life. Tuesdays.
Aww. I can hang out with a friend. I can hang out with like my booktube friends. Like it's just so great. I love it. It really is the best way. It just is. It really is.
All right. Thank you guys so much. And we will see you a little later. Have a great night.
Bye, everybody.